What's the name of this book?
I think after as many times as I've opened it, I've remembered. The Work and the Glory. It's called The Pillar of Life. The Work and the Glory.
Well, that's the name of the book. Is
The Pillar of Life.
no, it's The Pillar of Life. That's the part that's in that book. But the book is the Work and the Glory, volume 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 of them.
Well, The Pillar of Life means that that's the title of it, doesn't it?
Well, that's the contents of that book. Pillar of Life. That's the period of time. And volume 2 will still be the Work and the Glory. Then it'll be another title underneath it, specifying another period of time in the church. Because that's all that print in there is detail, things that happen, little things that you can make real interesting, you know. Little things like some drunk laying in the street or something, you know. It's just good reading.
Well, and there's little love affairs between some of the families.
Well, yeah, that's another thing he's good at.
And I'm sure that those things happen. I don't think that he made that up.
Well, he tells, he's got to make it up when he tells about how the girl's expression on her face, you know, is revealing certain things, you know, all that kind of stuff. Well, that's not in the history of the church.
No, but the history of the church is in the
Just
background all the way.
A lot of people there, such and such happened while they were there, but he goes into a lot of detail about trying to they were trying to clear some land to plant, you know, on the farm. And they had a big stump there that they were working on. He went into detail about putting the chain around the stuff. You could just visualize he's such a vivid writer that you could just he makes you feel like you're there. Talks about putting this chain around the stump and hooking it into about the 15th link or something, and how it broke, how they could see it was coming apart, what they did about it, you know, something. Or if it was just in the history of the church, it had to be in there, or they say the chain broke or something. That would be the end. But he goes into all the detail. You can just visualize it.
Bill,
He's a good writer.
excuse me, but if you're going to help the dishes, you shouldn't let Emily do them.
Well, I was trying to help. I was clearing up, scraping them out.
Grandma, what was your family like growing up?
We were a typical big family, but we loved each other. We argued a lot, but we were not ever serious, you know, to make anybody feel bad or anything like that. We didn't do that. We would stick up for each other. Anybody else said anything, just one or the other. We'd all kind of stick up for them. But we sang, and we danced, and we had the best time together. We had so much fun and harmonized. My father was in the chicken business. He'd go out and gather up the chickens, buy chickens, and bring them home and put them in the coop, a big chicken coop. And when he'd get enough that he'd have orders for Salt Lake, he'd order so many dressed chickens. Dressed, they call them. Not insides were out or anything like that, but just the chicken itself was dressed. All the feathers were off it and was ready and plumped and ready to go. Well, Papa would bring those chickens in the garage. We had a garage with a big table and a little stove in there. And Papa would heat hot water, boiling water, and put these chickens in there and get nothing done, and then put the chickens on the table. And we cleaned the feathers off. And my sister was a master at that. She had little hands, but she was so fast. She took the record. I think she could clean a chicken in 17 seconds.
Which sister was that?
My sister that died. She's one of the sisters that died.
What's her name?
Ethel.
Ethel.
And she would go up one side of the one leg and up the one wing and up to the neck, and she'd have that chicken all cleaned on one side and turn it over and do it up. She could do it 17. She took the record.
17 seconds.
She was the fastest one. But that's the way we did. We worked together and did those chickens, and when we get through, Mother would have a big hot chicken dinner all cooked when we got through. And we'd do that from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until we would do 300 or 400 chickens. But there was 4 or 5 of us that were working at it. My dad would always clump them, as he called it, and put them in
What did they do with all the feathers?
Take them out to the, where take them out to the dump, or whatever you call it.
That's a lot of feathers for 300 chickens.
Yeah, so he'd just load them in baskets or whatever you had to, take them out there the next day. And we'd have, then the next day, Mother and Dad would get up and have all the chickens that were in cold water all night, and they'd put them in sheets in the back of the truck and take 400, 500, whatever we had, up to Salt Lake, and Papa had a market.
Well, he'd have orders for them.
So he'd go deliver them. And they'd be gone kind of all day, and Mother and Dad would, that was my mother's outings, I think. No, it would be during the week. They do that 2 or 3 times a week. And so it was just a good way to help to make a living. And then Mother and Dad had an orchestra, and they would play at night. They'd go to Eureka and up to different little towns around Provo and make $50 a piece. In those days, it was good money. And Mother would make 50, and my dad 50, and my brothers and sisters or whoever played in the orchestra would make 50. And then they'd throw money at them and get them to stay and play later. They had lots of fun doing that. They enjoyed that.
They'd stay and play all night.
They didn't ever do that. They didn't ever do that, but they would stay later, and play. And people just loved to dance. They played all kinds of music. They played all kinds of the kind of music that they danced. Turkey in the Straw and things like that.
Jitterbug?
No, they didn't have jitterbug. But they had 2 steps and waltzes and all pretty music, My mother did have beautiful music. You've heard Turkey in the Straw. Emily's plays that, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how
Anyway, we had a great life, our family. We really did. I can remember when I was about 7 or 8, my oldest sister got married, and we all stuck around and listened to her husband to be proposed marriage to my dad and mother. And we'd snicker and laugh and make fun and just have so much fun. We all had a good time. See, we were only about a year and a half or a year and 9 months or 2 years apart. We were real close. And so we had such a good time together. We always had a good time.
The judge used to say he had it figured out to 9 months, 15 minutes.
Oh, Dud was just being,
Difference in their age.
that was a brother-in-law, and he was just kind of being vulgar to say things like that, but he did.
Grandpa,
What?
you're repeating such words.
Well, that's just true.
No, that isn't true. That's his version.
He said he had it all figured out.
Well, I know he
Who's
did.
Uncle Judd?
And Ethel's husband.
He died a long time ago. He was a lot of fun. He was screwing up stuff all the time.
But we didn't have very many brothers, but it was 8 girls.
8 girls? Get enough bathrooms?
We had 1 bathroom. That we did. We just did things like you'd have to. You know, you'd have to wait for each other and be fair. And we learned a lot of unselfishness and things like that by having that.
Didn't learn anything else about it.
It was just, you know, it was Mom and Dad raised 11 children, and they were all good people.
Who's left? You and
Aunt
Emmett?
Delda, and Aunt Ethel, and Uncle Emmett.
there's 5 of you.
Yeah, they were all sweet. You just get homesick to see them. Because we were close, we really had a good time. And we had quartets, and we had trios, and the girls would go out and entertain and sing trios and quartets in different places, and be on different programs.
What would other families do for money? Because if you didn't have music in your family, what would...
I don't know. My father was not, he didn't have a trade, but he would always make a trade. If he didn't have something to do, he'd make something to do, like he'd gone out and bought vegetables, and he'd sell vegetables and make a little money off them there. He was just a good busy man. And then at night, he and Mama would go out and double the wages, because Mama would be one and he'd be the other. And she played the piano, just really rattled it off. He was a good musician. And Papa didn't know one note from the other. She taught him the scale. She taught him the scale because her father was a violinist, and so she taught him the scale on the violin, and he learned to play that way. He didn't ever learn any music, and he was a really good violinist of that kind of modern at that time, you know. And then Mazuvia ands and all kinds of different dances that they used to do in those days. And Papa and Mama could do any of them, could play any of them. And we had lots of fun. We all did. And with orchestra night, the orchestra would all come, the other men that were in the orchestra would come there, and they'd have an orchestra practice half the night. And we'd all stand around the piano and sing, and we had a good time. We had a good life. It was a musical life, and it was a sharing life. We all shared with each other. So we'd have to. We couldn't have made it if we hadn't have been unselfish, because we had one little bathroom, and we all had to use it. We all had to take, of course we had the tin tub too, that we could have it in the bathroom and the kitchen, but imagine heating all that with water and everything for the kids to have their bath.
How often would you have each of you get a bath?
Probably a couple of times a week. And that's pretty good.
That's a lot of water.
You bet.
A lot of people.
It was pretty good.
What was the bathroom like? I mean, was it just a sink and a toilet, or was there a shower?
It
It had a bath. It had a nice bath.